All right, for more on that story, we're now joined by former Human Rights Commissioner Buang Jones. Already back in 2019, the SA Human Rights Commission had declared Hammanskraal water unfit for human consumption. And Buang joins me this morning. Buang, a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for your time. Now, as the Human Rights Commission, under your term as, of course, a commissioner at the time, back in 2019, you saw this coming. You actually released a statement of a warning to Hammanskraal residents not to consume that water. Take me back and take me through what you had found at that time.
Embarked on an investigation following repeated complaints from residents of Hammanskraal in 2018, and this culminated in a site inspection in 2019. Following this inspection, there was disagreement between the city and the water regulator, that is the Department of Water and Sanitation, regarding the quality of potable water supply to residents of Hammanskraal. We then decided that we should ask the SAHRC to take samples and conduct water quality tests, and the results were that the water is substandard and is unfit for human consumption.
Buang, I find it concerning that you actually ran water sampling tests on the 20th of June, and these were the places where you had run these sampling, or rather these water tests at the Temba Water Treatment Works, Kekana Primary School, concerning that, you found this in a primary school where children consume the water. At Refense Clinic, this is where, the community needs to go to for healthcare services, but also Hammanskraal Secondary School. Any other places where you had run samples?
No, we didn't run samples at other places, but there are several monitoring points in the city of Tshwane. And the water regulator had issued a number of directives and compliance notices, which the city did not comply with. And it is on that basis that the commission then decided to convene an inquiry so that we could get submissions from all the role players and to also subpoena those we thought could assist the process. The commission in 2021 issued its report. We made a number of adverse findings against the city of Tshwane and directed that the national government should take over the running of the Water and Sanitation Division of the city of Tshwane. We requested that the national government should declare Hammanskraal water situation a national crisis. We further directed that the national government should establish a national water care entity, because municipalities across the country have failed dismally to discharge its responsibilities regarding water and sanitation. And we thought this could help to address this issue once and for all. And to date, from what I hear, the national government, the city of Tshwane has not implemented any of the findings and directives of the South African Human Rights Commission.
Yeah, it seems like it was a blame game, Buang, from what I understand. When Stevens Mokhalapa took over from Solim Simanga, he had said that he promised to tackle these water issues, further saying that he had inherited an administration that contaminated, the city's dams and the city's streams. But at the same time, he had said that a budget of 175 million rand had been allocated to fix these water pipes. Did you have an opportunity as the Human Rights Commission at the time to go back and see indeed if that budget was allocated and if it was utilized to fix these water pipes?
Yes, we had engagements with the portfolio committee on water and sanitation in the city of Tshwane. They made a presentation and shared with us their short, medium to long-term interventions. Part of the short-term intervention was to roll out the first phase, which was to remediate the Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant. And the project was halted due to differences or disagreements between the joint venture, which was led by Edwin Sodi. So that affected the remediation effort by the city of Tshwane. Instances of vandalism also occurred, which worsened the situation. And the city should have by now implemented the second phase of refurbishing the existing water infrastructure in the city but the city's budget is wholly inadequate to address all these issues. At the time, the estimates were that the city would require 2.5 billion. Some were saying the city would require 9 billion to address this issue once and for all.
So, Buang, I mean, if this issue was reported by the SA Human Rights Commission back in 2019, residents equally saying they've been complaining for close to 10 years about this contaminated water, you issuing a risk warning with regards to the contaminated water at the time at the SA Human Rights Commission. And in 2023, we are 24 deaths later. And we know that these deaths rather could have been avoided. What are the next steps for the community at this time, especially for those bereaved families who are also part of those community members who have been calling for this water to be treated and these water pipes and infrastructure to be treated? What do you think then can be the recourse for this community and these families?
Well, the recourse for the families is to seek appropriate redress. They should approach a competent court because an infringement of rights has already occurred, and this has been the case for many years now. Those who are indigent can approach Legal Aid South Africa. Others could also approach the South African Human Rights Commission to force it to discharge its constitutional mandate of ensuring that it promotes, protects, and fulfills the rights in the Bill of Rights. Others could also engage directly with the city and the Department of Water and Sanitation to find solutions. There's a need to amplify awareness around issues of hygiene in Hammanskraal. There's an urgent need for the national government to also intervene to assist the city of Tshwane to discharge its constitutional responsibilities.
All right, we'll leave it there. Buang Jones, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and quite disheartening to know that indeed there were not only complaints lodged years ago against these water pipes and this contaminated water, but also there were recommendations filed by the SA Human Rights Commission as well back in 2019. And it seems like all falling into deaf ears. And now today in 2023, we speak of 24 families having lost their loved ones due to this absolutely avoidable tragedy.